I think the adage in 2020 is that years of digital transformations got done in weeks. Every day, I notice massive new innovations moving to the mainstream. Here are some recent highlights. China is the first country to launch a national cryptocurrency, the digital yuan. It is being piloted in 4 cities, and there are talks of a national rollout soon. China may already be the most active society in digital payments, where Alipay processes the equivalent of half of the country's GDP in digital payments. Having traveled to China many times, I noticed that tourists may be the only people using cash instead of Alipay or WeChat Pay. Because of that, it may be much easier for a society to transition to a fully digital currency. From a value creation perspective, having instant payment, lower credit risk, and instant lending could be a massive boost to the economy. China also plans to make the digital yuan available in foreign countries where they have significant economic connections through the Belt and Road program. I expect a lot of new fintech development on this payment platform, especially outside of China, where the regulatory barriers are likely to be lower for foreign companies. I think the learnings from the Chinese crypto experience will drive more mainstream adoption of cryptocurrencies everywhere. The pandemic is creating a push to cashless payments, and state-backed crypto may be a cheaper system overall than current credit card and banking systems-based alternatives. On another front, AI is gaining speed in language processing. In case you missed it, GPT-3, the language model development by the OpenAI Foundation, is advancing very fast, from crafting its own blog to translating books in seconds. The awkwardly named GPT-3 model has been trained on all known written documents of humanity. That allows it to have emerging features not anticipated by its authors, that includes creative writing and many other areas. From a business value perspective, GPT-3 can absolutely revolutionize automation in the area of human interactions. Some argue that writing from the AI is indistinguishable from human writing. GPT-3 can be the ultimate conversational AI. It can be a research analyst, customer service representative, or even a subject matter expert. GPT-3 has written decent computer code in several languages and is constantly evolving. I anticipate businesses built with the GPT-3 API will be able to address the last mile of automation. We will likely see customer service, sales support, media, education, healthcare, and software development applications in 2021. Clearly, there will be competitors to GPT-3, especially now that Microsoft has a fairly exclusive access to the underlying AI models. Another big development is again in driverless cars, which is another major AI challenge. Approvals for driverless in 2020 included the US, China, and several countries in Europe. With less traffic and less people on the roads due to the pandemic, the risk-reward calculus is tipping in favor of more approvals. Given the massive increase for demand for transportation and delivery, many expect driverless transportation to continue to grow. It can help not only with the transportation costs, but also further reducing the supply chain issues highlighted during COVID. In the broader AI automation front, additional academic surveys and reports are pouring in as analysts are making sense of the pandemic-driven digital acceleration we are experiencing. MIT's Work of the Future report came out with an amazing perspective on the evolution of work over the last 100 years and how AI and automation are continuing an existing trend. They discussed 2 opposing forces of technology change. One is task automation, that reduces the need for some jobs, and the second is new work creation that introduces entirely new types of jobs. MIT researchers believe that technology change always had these two forces, but now changes are much, much faster. What took 100 years in Industrial Revolution in terms of shift from old jobs to the new, now takes just years or even months. There's more pressure on policymakers, the education system, and individuals to constantly develop new skills, much more than ever before. 60% of the jobs we have today did not exist in 1950. Think about it. We had teachers, lawyers, and doctors, but not programmers, video editors, or data scientists. That trajectory is accelerating, and maybe 60% of the jobs will be new in 20 years or sooner. There is a general shift for higher skilled jobs. MIT showed that the shift to automation did not reduce average compensation in the workforce. In fact, salaries and productivity grew 300% in the last 50 years, in parallel. That's another trend that's likely to continue. Access to affordable education is key to this trend, and governments alone won't be able to tackle the challenge. There is likely a huge market for education-related AI and reskilling startups. A similar analysis emerged from the IMF in their Future of Jobs report last week. They also looked at the job transition that is happening due to digital transformation during COVID. They saw a surge of demand for several high-paying new jobs and decreasing demand for repetitive and manual labor. They estimate that the automation revolution will create 97 million new jobs globally. In addition, the new fields of AI and machine learning will allow us to pivot entire industries and business models. They think that in 5 years, the most sought-after jobs will involve critical thinking, creativity, and flexibility. Online learning sites like Coursera and LinkedIn are already seeing this trend as millions are upgrading their skills and capabilities. The report also confirms the remote working trend. 84% of the businesses plan to further digitize and automate their work processes, and almost half assume that workers will operate remotely post-pandemic. Collaboration and communication software will continue to be on the rise. So here's the thing. The speed of change is not anything we have ever experienced before, and it is accelerating. The best thing individuals, businesses, and policymakers can do is to provide ways for the workforce to expand their skill set. Investors are already betting on these trends. It is time we all did too. Talk soon.